big hello to everyone out there and welcome to Eagle Hour with me, Jamie. Today's guest I had the pleasure of meeting and photographing with well over a year ago now. He is an accomplished photographer and tutor and really does know his stuff when it comes to camera tech and techniques. He has travelled the world with his photography, helping people improve their skills and creativity using the newest and cutting-edge equipment from Nikon. And he is just an all-round nice guy. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Nikon School Training Manager, Neil Freeman.
The Eagle has landed.
Hello, Neil. Thank you so much for coming on my podcast. It's going to be amazing to talk to you about cameras and wildlife, really.
Great to be here, Jamie. Thank you so much. You're so kind for that introduction. It's brilliant to be here. Looking forward to having a conversation about wildlife, cameras.
Yeah.
Let's start talking.
Yeah, sure. Okay, well, I think I'll start with, what started your passion for wildlife and photography?
So I'd say I really got into wildlife when I was probably about your age. I would have thought. David Attenborough.
Yes.
Sort of Wildlife on One. My parents always had his books on the coffee table and things like that. Always had wildlife books around. We always used to go to visit the zoos and places like that as well.
Yeah.
I'm always fascinated by animals, wildlife and the natural world. I used to holiday a lot down in Sussex, which has got some beautiful countryside.
Yes.
So it was really sort of getting into nature at a very, very, very young age. And it's sort of just my passion for that grew. More and more I looked into it and the more I got a chance to go out and sort of go hiking now. And now I live in Yorkshire as well.
Yes.
It's a chance to sort of explore, and we've got beautiful wildlife and beautiful nature on our doorstep here.
And what wildlife were you seeing in Sussex and on your hikes?
Oh, all sorts. So you'd see sort of woodland birds, you're going to see your sort of nighttime, you're going to get your badgers out and things like that, owls and all sorts of different stuff. So it's just, you're out in a lovely countryside. So I used to start doing landscape photography, but then you'd start to see more and more of the nature around you and sort of, you might have your 14mm lens on shooting the mountain or the hills, and then suddenly an owl flies behind you. And I need to really get into sort of bigger lenses and sort of, and while the encounters are great to see, I always wanted to be able to photograph them at the same time as well.
Yes, so you always need that different variety of kit, really?
Yep.
And have you always used Nikon or have you not?
No, I actually started way back in the 1980s on Olympus, Olympus film cameras. So they were very, very big back in the 1980s. First camera was Olympus OM10 that my dad gave me when he got his OM1. And then I graduated through film cameras, slide film, had a Canon film camera as well. And I've been shooting Nikon since 2007-ish when the D3 came out. The word game changer is used a lot in this industry. The D3 back then was a game changer. It was as effective as sort of the Z9 when that hit a few years back. And I swapped to Nikon. We sold all the camera gear that was in the studio. Swapped across to Nikon, never looked back. So yeah, that's coming up for nearly 20 years now shooting Nikon. So never looked back. But the D3 was what got me across onto the brand. If
you were to make like your own camera, what sort of parts of a camera will you take from different ones and what would you create?
It's a brilliant question. I would actually say at the moment, I don't feel I'm lacking anything. So I shoot with Z8s and Z9s.
Yeah.
There's not a feature set on them at the moment, really, that I'm really missing. I'm just back from photographing otters and eagles in Scotland, and it's fast-moving stuff.
Yep.
The cameras perform brilliantly. I can do my landscapes, I can do astrophotography, I can do wildlife, do portraiture. I can't think off the top of my head that there's anything I want to add to. But I'm sure our designers in Japan are looking at new tech and things like that.
Yes.
And I'm always fascinated to see what they add to the cameras when they launch a new one.
Yeah, it is always incredible. And you said that you've recently been to Scotland. How was that?
Apart from the midgie bites, which I've got all over fingers and face and things like that, it was brilliant. It's a lot of midges this year. It's been very, very damp up there, very wet.
Okay.
We got a midge problem here in Yorkshire. I've never seen them before.
Oh,
either.
wow. Right.
So this far south. But yeah, that was great. We had some amazing otter encounters and white-tailed eagle encounters. Also got to see some hen harriers, short-eared owl, lots of, it was just great being up there on the sort of Morven and Mull areas. Really, really nice. So really good. We had a lot of rain. We had a lot of sunshine.
Okay.
It was sort of
classic.
Yeah, classic Scottish weather. But it was a brilliant time. The delegates all loved it as well. So we were out with a local guide. And we even went out to Lunga. So got a chance to see the seabirds and puffins, and there were I see we've got Neil the Gannet here from our time at Bempton.
Yes.
Yeah, we even got a chance to see they've got the occasional gannets diving over there as well.
Oh wow, that's
amazing. When we were going out on the boat, we were followed for a little while by a minke whale, which we only got to see the fin and sort of breaching slightly, but it was beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful to see. So, yeah, lovely part of the world. Have you been up there?
Never. I'd love to. It's on the bucket list.
Cool.
But it's just having the time to, because we're really busy at the moment doing all the podcasts and getting to talk to amazing people like yourself. So, I've mainly been doing macro photography at the moment. Have you ever tried macro photography?
So macro photography I really love. I got really into that. It's one of the first genres of photography I really got into because it's something you can do all the time, isn't it? You can do it in the house, just pop into the garden. I always used to like sort of raindrops on leaves, raindrops on flowers, that sort of thing. And then textures on different things, even if it's pouring rain outside and you can't get outside, just sort of wandering around the house and sort of creating that. You've got that little mini world that you can't actually see, can you? I think that macro lens gives you this micro world that you just sort of, one of the great games I used to play with that is go and take some pictures and then sort of try and get people to guess what you'd photographed that close up, because you can get some brilliant textures with it. Are you doing it sort of inside, garden, flowers, bees and insects, or what sort of macro are you doing? Right,
so with my macro photography, I'm doing mainly insects at the moment. So in the garden, because we let our garden go wild, we have so many different species of bugs that have come to visit, especially the bees. They have loved the flowers that have popped up. At the moment, the buttercups have gone mad. So we've got loads of bumblebees and everything. It's really cool. So insects mainly. Sometimes water droplets, just to see. You see the reflections in it, don't you?
Yeah, you do. They
well?
act as magnifying glasses, don't they? Make the sort of texture on the leaf shine through as well. So it's really, really cool. Really cool. And I love sort of bees with the nectar on them as well when they've been in the plants. Being that close up is really, really good. And also the detail on the wings. And earlier in the year, around April time, damselflies and dragonflies, if you go early in the morning.
Yep.
I remember a few years back when Nikon launched the Z series macro lenses, I did the launch videos. I was working with a very talented photographer called Ross Hodnock down in Devon. Ross, lovely guy, and we went out really early in the morning before the damselflies and the dragonflies woke up, and they were still on their stalks.
Oh wow.
And we were photographing for hours. Those are brilliant as well. The textures and the colours are just brilliant. And watching for the way the light worked, we were hoping for like backlight and the light coming through, but it just rained, so we just got water droplets on there.
Loads of droplets, still just as good, isn't it?
Yeah, it was really, really, really great experience.
Yeah, I just love dragonflies because their eyes, I find that are incredible. The amazing thing about dragonfly eyes is actually they have two different types of lenses in them. So the bottom one is a wide angle sort of look, so they can see everything so it's a bit like, well, that's why they're called lenses, I guess. So you have the wide angle, and then the top are really zoomed in so that they can pinpoint where their prey is moving.
I didn't know that. That is brilliant. Sort of two lenses in one. Like wide, 28 to 400 maybe, or something like that. Really. Your eye does that. That would be brilliant to have, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, it definitely would. And you're saying loads of different types of kit, of course. So what kit do you use?
It changes depending on what I'm photographing.
Of
so I have a
course,
core
yeah.
kit. My main camera is a Z9, backup camera is a Z8.
Yeah.
For my landscape and astrophotography, I tend to use a 1430 f4 or a 1424 f2.8. I'm currently experimenting with the 20mm 1.8, but shooting it vertically.
Yes.
And then stitching the panoramas together.
Okay.
A little bit more work than just taking one shot, but I'm quite liking the results at the moment. Still in the experimenting phase on that one. So that one's the 20mm f1.8 is it might be in my bag permanently soon, but yeah, I need to do a bit more work on that. I then have the 50mm macro because it's easy. Love to put it in the bag. Takes up no space whatsoever. And I've then got access. I'm very fortunate to have the 400 2.8 f4 with the teleconverter and the 600 f4 with the teleconverter in it as well. They're beautiful lenses.
Yeah.
I don't carry it all that in one go. So I've got my astro or landscape kit with me.
Yes, of course.
Scotland, sort of where we've just been when we're going out to do wildlife and things like that. I tend to just take the bigger lenses.
Yeah.
And then from time to time, when we still do a bit of portraiture or we're teaching portraiture, I really love using the 50mm f1.2 or the 135 f1.8, the Plina lens.
Yes.
If I've got enough space to use that. And that tends to be an outside shoot. So lucky position to have some really nice kit to play with. But my favourites are using sort of the 400 2.8. Really love that lens. It's a beautiful lens and creates a beautiful looking pictures as well. So it's a lot of kit. But I don't carry it all around with me at one go. Oh, and I don't forget my binoculars as well. So
the binoculars.
10 by 42s are my favourite. I love those. Got some Monarch HGs, which are really nice binos. Which, for wildlife, they're invaluable.
Just for spotting them.
What kit have you got in your camera bag at the moment?
Okay, well, it depends actually, again, of what I'm shooting. So for macro photography, I use the OM1 Mark II body with a 90mm lens for the bugs, with then a little speed light with a Cygnus Tech diffuser, which is really good for getting the sort of close-ups and all the details like hairs and things and lenses in the eyes. For longer lens photography, we used Nikon Z9 body and a whole myriad of different lenses. So we have the 400mm f4.5. We use that one. That one's really good. I love using that for a mix, really, of animals. And it's just really good because you have the f4.5, so you can get some blur in the image and things. And the Plena 135mm f1.8. I've fallen in love with, really.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's an amazing lens. What's your favourite lens and body to work with?
I would say it's got to be a Z9.
Okay.
Favourite lens, difficult one. Because it really is. What am I photographing?
Yeah. Okay, let's do bird photography.
Bird photography. So bird photography for me is generally raptors. That's what I really like.
Okay.
So that it's generally at distance.
Yes.
So I'm looking at probably the 600 f4.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm having to do a hike and things like that, I will seriously think about taking the 600 f3 if I can get hold of one.
Oh wow!
Which is a lot lighter, a lot easier to carry.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't quite have the reach, but it's because the teleconverter on the 600 f4 gives me 840 at 5.6, which is again great lens. Really depends what I'm shooting, but for bird photography, I would go for distance. It's got to be the 600 f4.
Okay.
If it's close up, then I'm looking at that 400 2.8, or as you say, the 400 4.5 is beautiful, really easy to work with, isn't it? Really light.
It is really useful.
And it doesn't take up very much space in your bag either.
No.
So, both of those lenses, but I definitely second that. 400 4.5 is a great lens.
It definitely is an amazing lens to work with.
I think for astrophotography is either the 1424 2.8 or the 20mm 1.8. I think I'm going to... from my initial testing, I think I will come down on that lens. But it needs to be stitched.
Okay.
My landscapes, I tried the 1424 2.8, and as sharp as that edge is, and I do really love it. having filters on it can be a bit of a faff.
Yeah.
And so I've gone back to using the 1430 f4. Makes my bag a bit lighter as well.
Oh, yeah. So you said about the astrophotography. Now, I know that you really like astrophotography. So what started the passion for that?
That, again, came back from when I was a lot younger. Just sort of stars, space, things like that. Always fascinated with space and planets and asteroids and all that sort of thing. So being able to sort of learn that you can capture that and photograph that was, again, photography for me brings a lot to my other hobbies and interests together, and I can use it to capture pictures of things I'm really, really interested in. So that really brought that all together.
Okay.
First started photographing the sort of Milky Way, and that was great. And not really got onto doing photographing planets now, but during sort of COVID and lockdown, got into doing deep space astro from my garden, where I live up here in Yorkshire.
Yes.
We can Z7 II, 100, 400. You can photograph things like the Andromeda Galaxy and things like that. And what is that? Billions of light years away, but we can still see it if you know where to look at the star charts and things like that. So that really got me interested in it. And when I sort of can get a bit more permanent setup, just moving locally, sort of still within Yorkshire, but hopefully going to get a telescope, and then that will open up a bit more opportunity to do deep space for me. But you can do deep space astro with 100, 400, 400 mil, 600 mil, 6.3, anything like that. So really got into it from a young age, and then it just developed. I'm lucky enough to be able to go to Iceland,
that's amazing,
and Norway and places like that, and see the aurora and photograph that, which is special.
That's really cool. I would love to see the aurora, but every time that the aurora comes here, we are usually fast asleep because it's been a very long day and we're going to bed early. And then you look on Instagram or something next day and you're like, oh no, I missed it again.
It is very late nights for aurora. We were lucky enough last year, we had the terrific auroras in the UK in May and October, and managed to get some amazing pictures over my house. But as you say, it was like 1 a.m. in the morning.
We wouldn't have been up that late.
The May one I actually missed because I went to bed about 11 thinking it wasn't going to get better, and then it got better. So I got something. But like you, we have to sleep at some point. And October one, I did stay up a lot later. And because it is a bit unpredictable. It can be there for 5 minutes, 5 seconds, or then it just disappears completely. Iceland is a great place to see it. And so going up into Norway and Finland to getting into those Arctic regions is really, really cool.
Okay, right.
And if you're interested in seeing it, we're at peak sun cycle at the moment. So it's going to start to drop off over the next few years. So if you get a chance to see it over the next couple of years, you get sort of more percentage chance of seeing a good one.
Okay. What's your favourite trip that you've gone on to see the Aurora Borealis?
Favourite trip? That's, again, really great question. I don't think because you can't guarantee it, we don't generally go specifically looking for the Aurora.
Okay. What's your favourite trip in general?
Really difficult to predict that one. So when we go to Iceland in winter, so you can see the Aurora between September and April generally.
Okay.
I remember going out a couple of Septembers ago, we were going out to see the volcano in Iceland, but
cool.
went out the day we landed, so we didn't get to see that. However, the bonus was we had amazing aurora because it was around the equinox, which is again another good time to see the aurora, and we had some amazing equinox. Benefit of seeing it in September was it wasn't -10, it was only 0. So it was that was really cool. But this January we had some amazing aurora over one of the mountain ranges called Vestrahorn, which was special for us and the delegates that we took out there. So that has to be getting the aurora over one of those iconic locations. But that said, I've been going to Iceland for 10 years, and it's the first time I've seen the aurora over that particular location. So you have to go back a few times.
Right.
It's when we talk to people about it, it's not, you can't well, we're going tonight and we're going to go see the aurora over all these iconic locations.
Yeah.
Doesn't work like that.
Nah, it's a hit and miss.
It is very, very hit and miss.
Okay.
But yeah, Iceland's a great place to see it. And so some of the northern latitudes as well. We got some stuff coming up hopefully next year in Finland, which should be really good with all the snow-covered trees.
Oh,
well, that's what it looks like in
wow.
my head.
Okay.
Snow-covered trees with the aurora above it. So
Yeah.
we'll see if we can make that happen.
Just picture it in the head and then
Yeah.
hope it happens. Is
Very
that
much
sort of
so.
thing to go through?
Yeah. Where would you like to go and see it?
Oof. Anywhere and everywhere, really. Anywhere that the aurora turns up. I mean, to start off, probably be nice to try and catch it here.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to travel too far then. But they're mainly in colder regions, aren't they? So you've got to go to the cold. How do you survive in such cold climates?
It's having the right gear. Somebody always told me, I think there's a famous saying, isn't there? It's not about the temperature, it's about having the right gear or something along those lines. And we have some really nice outdoor gear. I'm very much a big fan of you. Okay, it's expensive gear, but you buy it once. And I've had a lot of my outdoor gear now for 10, 11 years. It's starting to show its age. It was expensive when I bought it, but it's starting to show its age now. But layers. So you have a merino wool base layer on your top and on your legs, and then you'd put over trousers on, like hiking trousers, the thermal ones that again could either be downfilled or something like that. You then have a mid-layer fleece, and then you have a big I like Parker jackets, which are sort of waterproof, and they've got big pockets that I can put lenses in. That's what I like.
Big pockets.
I have tried down jackets, but I tend to rip them with my buckles on my rucksacks, which gets a bit expensive.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah, and then you've got down feathers flying everywhere. I remember being in Snowdonia and doing that, and it looked like a duck had died or something. It was just feathers going anywhere.
It looks like a bird's dead or something.
Yeah, I caught the zip on my down jacket and ruined a really expensive one. But Parkers, they're a bit like wearing armour. So it keeps you warm. But layers is the key, and gloves and a good hat, and good insulated boots as well. So it's all about having the right gear. Yep.
And for the cameras, how do you keep the cameras warm? Because they're even more important.
Yeah, they are. But the thing with the cameras is once you've got a good camera, like a Z9Z8 or a D850, Z7 IIs, what other kit? D3s I've even taken out there. I've taken a lot of gear out to Iceland. The kit is rated for working in those temperatures. I know exploration photographers that will take the kit to Siberia. I've seen some really fascinating pictures of cameras fully encased in ice that when they're thawed out, they work perfectly.
Wow.
So the camera's never had a problem. The only real consideration is your battery life.
Yes,
so your batteries suffer in cold conditions. So generally our recommendation is, if you've got your spare batteries, don't leave them in your bag. Put them inside your jacket pockets, so they're close to your body core, and they're not on the outside. So you put them in your mid-layer pockets.
Right.
Keep your batteries really warm, and then your cameras should be fine. Only other consideration, and I've never had this happen when we've been doing aurora photography or astrophotography, is condensation. So if you take your lens from a hot area to a cool area, you might get fogging or condensation, and you can get sort of those lens warmers, so those little USB powered blankets that you wrap around the lenses.
Right.
Not really seen that we needed those in for aurora photography, but I know some people use them. Those are more used for deep space astrophotography when you're leaving your camera out for hours at night and get a chance, if the dew point's wrong, you'll get condensation build up. So the cameras just tend to work. Batteries and just keeping your lens at the right temperature. Yeah, and do you use many sort of cables out there? Because I've heard some stories of cables turning into spaghetti. I'm not sure if that happens. Yeah, you can. It depends on how you get with your astrophotography. You can hook up your computer, you can hook up your tracker, you can have power cords running all over the place. I tend to try and keep it down to the minimum number of cables. So spaghetti cables is not something I've come across. Touch wood. Tend to try and stay away from that. But I think the more complicated you said, if you've got a big telescope and you're running power into the USB into power into the camera potentially to keep it going. Because for the deep space astro, when I photographed Andromeda, we ran, what was that? That was 3 hours worth of 30-second exposures.
Okay.
And the battery is in a cold temperature.
Yes, it's not going to really last,
no,
is it?
The power pack I put onto my Z9, you're going to get about 14 hours out of it.
Okay.
So that should be long enough. But this was a Z7 II I was doing it with, so I had to have it up or sort of on with a power pack as well. So I try and minimise my cable runs.
Okay. So you do not get the spaghetti.
No spaghetti. I like spaghetti, but not in cable.
Okay. Maybe the cables aren't the best spaghetti to eat.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Okay. And what happens when you're going to go out and shoot astrophotography, but it's a cloudy night?
You either do some editing, or you plan another shoot, or go down the pub or something like that. It's many options. So that's one of the key things. It's a bit like when we were doing the wildlife last week. We had quite a bit of rain as well. So we can talk camera setups. You can think about your next shoot, where you're going to go. So a lot of planning, or just it's one of those things that we can't shoot tonight.
Okay.
Let's plan for the future.
That must be a bit disappointing, though.
It is, but it's the nature of photography, I think, when you're doing, even if we were doing camping, hiking, or whatever we were doing, if the weather goes against you and we're not really in control of that, we can't do anything about it. We just have to work with what we've got in front of us. So, just use the time to catch up on editing or do something else.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, recently, I know you went to Norway at Dobrefell to see the musk oxen. How was that? Was the weather okay?
That was the most brilliant trip we've done. It was so good. I'd never been to Dobrefell National Park. Lots of people have spoken to me about that and said how difficult it was to hike up in snowshoes, go onto the mountain. We worked with a local guide who put together a brilliant itinerary for us. We had husky dogs and sledges to take us all up. So we did not have to carry our own gear, which was a huge benefit. Nice. We then made base camp in the mountains. And again, the guides could carry the delegates' gear into the mountains while we were looking for the muskox, because they weren't right by where we were camping. We wouldn't expect them to be. So we had to walk quite a long way each day. And when we found them, it was just a brilliant experience. Yeah. They are such amazing looking creatures. Really, really. The babies that they have with them are cute on one hand, and then the older muskox look very sort of prehistoric, really, really like dinosaurs from a leftover age. It was just incredible to see them. You're not allowed very close to them, so that's why we come back to having like the 600 mils and the 800 mils to maintain that respect for the animal and that distance, so you don't startle them or sort of cause unnecessary behaviour with the animals by your presence. So we've got to respect the wildlife all the time. So brilliant. And then it was amazing. Well, it got even better because the first night there we pitched the tents because we were staying in tents, and the idea was we were hoping to get the muskoxen at sunrise the following morning. That didn't happen. We had an amazing sunrise, but the muskox weren't in the right place for that. But still an amazing sunrise. Yep. But overnight, we had an aurora in the mountains. We had clear sky. So we got this amazing experience of just us, a small number of delegates there, tents, and the aurora above it. It was just incredible. Oh, wow. So good.
So you booked the aurora?
We booked the aurora. We always try and, for those sort of things, we always try and book for our workshops either the aurora if it's appropriate, nice weather, or the appropriate weather for the whatever we're trying to shoot. So most of the time the memo gets through and we get good weather. Sometimes it doesn't always work, or the weather arrives late. But that was a terrific experience. It's something I'd highly recommend to go and see them there over in Norway. It's and you can walk into the mountains, but snowshoes, that was a bit of experience. Fell over a few times with those. got the knack after a little while, but it's snowshoeing was also a good experience as well.
How was everyone else with the snowshoes? Did they go okay?
Yeah, it varied is the word.
Okay.
I think for me, what I found is you get two sizes of snowshoes. You get the big ones, which is what you put on your feet first, which were great, but I kept on tripping over. A bit like when I used to do skiing, get skis crossed, fall over.
Oh no.
What I found worked really well was get the smaller snowshoes, and then you can go a lot faster because you're not catching each other.
Okay.
So that would be my top tip. If anybody snowshoeing, go for the smaller ones because they're easier to work with. I think they would. I was told, they're women's snowshoes. I don't care. They work for me. I can go fast on these and not fall over. But yeah, varied skill sets with people using the snowshoes. Have you ever tried snowshoeing?
Never.
It's good. Go for the smaller ones and you can go really fast once you get the knack of it.
Smaller snowshoes, but write that down.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to snowshoe with the smaller ones.
Okay. Well, whenever I do maybe try snowshoes, I'll definitely go for smaller sizes. That sounds... It's speeding past Dad then.
Yeah, it's really good. Once you got it right, you can actually pick up some quite good speed.
Oh, wow.
And that was even carrying the camera gear in the rucksack. So I had the Z9 and what did I have up there? I think I had the 600mm f4 with me.
Okay.
So you're carrying that because, again, you don't want to fall over while you're carrying that.
No, not really. That's not
expensive.
the best.
Yeah. It's snow, so it's a soft landing, but you still don't want to fall over.
Nah, not for the camera's sake, then yourself as well.
No, not at all.
Okay. Now, you've done loads of trips and workshops, as you've been talking about, which is absolutely amazing. So when you're on there, do you come across many funny moments at all?
We get to see an awful lot of different things on workshops. Some of them very funny. Well, they're not funny at the time. In hindsight, they're funny. At the time, some of them could be a bit dangerous potentially. But luckily, with the way we set the workshops up, it's all good. But there are people who will do anything to get the shot. And we typically find when you say to people, don't go and stand over there, you turn around and suddenly they're over there. We had a situation, most recent one that comes to mind with, again, I said, don't go and stand over there. So some of the delegates went and stood down by the shoreline, and a bigger wave came in and knocked over a couple of tripods. And one guy, he got knocked off his feet, and he would have been fine. He would have just got wet. But he grabbed his tripod for support as he went over, and he pulled his brand new camera, brand new lens into the sea. And that was, luckily it was all covered on insurance, the gear. Everybody was all right, just a bit wet. But we say, don't go and stand over there for a reason. But we have adults on the courses. I can't physically stop them doing this sort of thing. So we see wet people like that. We had somebody, again, one of the waterfalls, he went and stood on part of the bank I'd said not stand on, and he ended up in the river. So we see a few things like that, which you now chat. These people are regulars now on courses, and you chat with them, and in hindsight, as I said, they think it's really funny. And they can't believe that they did something that stupid. But it's we get to see our fair share of things like that, which is the stuff we see with tourists as well at some of these locations. That is really funny. But there's so many of those. But with our delegates generally, it's once they've going to locations where they shouldn't be, and then falling over or getting wet.
Okay. That's quite funny, actually. Have you ever fallen in?
I nearly went in last year when I offered my arm to pull somebody out. And
out of the water?
He pretty much pulled me in up to my knees. And then we I didn't go fully under, but Yeah, it's I have broken two of my fingers actually in Iceland going to get
Oh,
somebody who was in a spot where they shouldn't have been, and they hadn't taken their ice clamps on their feet. We have these things called microspikes you put around your
I
boots so you can walk on
see.
ice. They're brilliant. And she'd got herself there and then couldn't get back. So I gave her my microspikes so she could get back. I then
Yes.
tried walking back over, and then I fell over and I broke two of my fingers.
Oh no.
But yeah, that's probably the worst that's happened to me.
Okay.
And there was the incident in Scotland we had a couple of years back as well. Actually,
Oh.
I have some really good outdoor gear, and
Yep.
there was some. I didn't know it. We were doing some light painting around a car that was in the
I
forest, but there was
see.
some heather in the forest, and there was barbed wire in that. And I went
Oh.
through that, and luckily my really good trousers, which got destroyed, but saved my legs from having barbed wire embedded in it. So,
Okay.
yeah, everybody's got me on camera falling over. So there's that footage that exists. But generally, it's silly things like me running around doing light painting and stuff like that. Always makes great behind the scenes stuff for delegates. There's one of our regulars that we get on with really well. When we were doing the light painting and me running around, he then put the music to one of the operas, The Sugar Plum Fairy. I don't know if you know
Okay.
this. Look it up. It's and then he posted that on his Instagram reels, which was really great. Thank you for that. Which was very funny again in hindsight. Me doing well. He'd slowed it down as well, so it looks like I'm doing ballet. But yeah, not the greatest person for that.
That's quirky.
Yeah, it was very funny to watch back and look at it.
What was your favourite workshop that you've done? Was it the Musk Oxen or a different one?
Oh, favourite workshop. Asking some great questions with difficult ones. I enjoy a lot of the workshop. A lot of the workshops are made by the people that are actually on them. It's not necessarily the locations. We try and pick locations that are great to go to.
Yeah.
So we've got a wide range of locations in the UK, Scotland, Wales, in the UK, on the coast and the countryside. Overseas in the Nordics, Iceland's always good. Norway's good. We've got some interesting stuff coming up in Finland, which I think should be really, really good. So I'm not sure I've got a favourite location. I just like going to all of the locations.
Okay.
They're locations I've been going to and photographing it at for a long, long time. So I know they work photographically.
I see, yeah.
And it really works with the delegates you've got with you at the location. So yeah, I don't think I've got a favourite location. There's lots of places I'd love to go to that I've not been to yet, which could quite easily feature on a favourite list.
Right.
Yeah, I've not been to all of the locations yet. So
Okay, could you whittle down a few?
Oh, on the list of places I'd like to, Namibia, I think would be brilliant. I'd love to go and photograph the sand dunes. I've always wanted to do that. That looks just amazing. I'd always, from a wildlife perspective, I'd love to go and photograph polar bears.
They're amazing.
Yeah, love to go and do that for polar bears in the wild. Go and see that, walruses and things like that. So I think probably a trip to Svalbard or something like that is in order at some point. Other things, sort of bears in Alaska would be brilliant. Love to go and do that sort of thing as well. So I'd say they're the top of my list of places to go at the moment. But I'm always looking out for new locations and see new images and go, that looks amazing. I'd love to go there.
Yeah.
What about you? Where would you like to go?
Well, it varies every week. Same with favourite animals and favourite everything or something I'd like to go. Varies every week, maybe even every day. But after talking to you about the Aurora Borealis, it would be amazing to go see the Aurora Borealis in maybe Norway or something, then get the musk oxen. That'd be the ideal way of it. That may not play out if that ever happens. I'd love to go everywhere, really, and see everything. But I'm definitely a big fan of insects at the moment. So places like Costa Rica, Malaysia, and places where there are good bugs, because Australia was just amazing for the bugs out there. And you can think of them as you can think of a cricket or a grasshopper that's here and then just size it up around about 10 times bigger. And maybe that's
Australia.
That's the size of them in Australia. So, and that they can actually scare off trapdoor spiders that
Oh, wow.
we figured out. So
Okay.
they can walk over the hole and the trapdoor spider goes in. Now you'd think the trapdoor spider would go, oh, nice meal, but maybe not.
So what was I know I saw your footage from Australia.
Yeah.
It looked like you had an amazing time there.
It was amazing.
What was your favourite animal down there?
That's really hard. Okay, well, I have to go favourite animal in Cairns, favourite animal in Brisbane, favourite animal
Go
in
for it.
Melbourne, because I would not be able to whittle it down otherwise. In Cairns, I'd probably say my favourite animal that I saw there was the cassowary, because they're just so prehistoric. And there was a male that was on a beach and he just walked right past us, staring at us like this. He was really staring. He looks so prehistoric. It's like a dinosaur walking past. And then you saw the footprints afterwards. They did look really prehistoric. Brisbane, really, really hard because we saw quite a lot of bird life there. I'd probably have to say that there was a bowerbird that we spotted, and the bowerbirds were just incredible. And there was one species, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Maybe we called the O'Reilly's bowerbird. Anyone can correct me on that name. But I saw a glimpse of it. I didn't get a picture, unfortunately, but I did see a glimpse of the male, and it's beautiful, golden black, amazing.
Cool, I've not come across one of those. I'm going to look that up. That looks really, really cool.
I just want to try and get a picture of it. That's the thing. Then Melbourne would have to be the fruit bats that we saw there. They were incredible, the flying foxes. They were all hanging off the trees with their babies. It was really cute. So I'd have to whittle it down to those three.
That sounds really cool. I've not been down there, so
Okay.
that's, again,
One on the bucket list, maybe.
Another to add to the list as well.
The list is never ending.
No, and it changes, as you say, it changes all the time after you see different things as well.
Of course. What's your favourite animal to photograph?
Oh, I photograph. It does change. I would. Birds of prey. I always like photographing raptors.
Oh, yep.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Always had a soft spot for otters and things. Again, so just coming back from Scotland was great. We were eagles and otters.
Yeah, raptors and otters.
Yeah, that was
Tick
brilliant.
boxes.
I remember the first time I went up there a few years ago to see the first otter in the wild, and that was just with the field craft to make sure we could track it.
Yeah.
That was just so special, being able to see, being able to get that close to it as well and watch it.
That would have been really cool.
So I was driving home on Saturday, and we left the hotel, and I thought, I'll just drive down the lock side, and then I found mother otter with two kits, and then I looked, and it was like, I've been here for nearly 3 hours. I do need to go home at some point, but I could spent the rest of the day there.
How far's home?
So it really good. We've got other workshops coming up where we're going out. We're photographing some more gannets where we met. Yeah,
Neil's happy about that.
About a year ago, wasn't it? We did that.
Yeah, so it must have been.
Yeah. So
Time flies.
gannets are great. Puffins, which are there as well, are always comical. Lovely little things. So also I just love nature really. Photographing any of the wildlife that's out and about.
All nature.
Do you have a favourite animal in the UK to photograph?
Ooh, well, that's really, really, really tricky because I love all animals, and it does change for me as well. I find that it changes maybe every hour, less than even a day. At the moment, I'd say I'm a massive fan of big cats.
Yep.
At the moment, so I can't say that because cheetahs are in the family of small cats because they purr not roar. So small cats and big cats, I'll say. So cheetahs, lions, tigers. At the moment, it will change. I promise. It will change.
What was before that then? What was the animal before the cats?
Before the cats was probably reptiles.
Okay.
I wouldn't be able to whittle down reptiles, but it's just reptiles.
What do you think is going to replace cats?
Ooh, replace cats? Well, maybe a bird of prey or a kingfisher at the moment. The kingfishers are coming in.
Great. Yeah, I left that off my list.
Coming in.
They are brilliant. We're very lucky up here in Yorkshire. We've got a lot of kingfisher sites.
Yes.
And that is brilliant to photograph them. And very tricky, but have you ever photographed them before?
Well, yes, it was hard. We went to WWT Llanelli,
Yep.
and they had a bank there that was especially designed for the kingfishers. So they would come in and they were nesting there. And I remember, I think there was at least 3 on one branch, all holding a fish.
Oh, fantastic.
The lighting was... because it was in a little bit of a dip because of the river, the early sunlight wasn't quite getting there. So yeah, it was a little bit grainy, I'm afraid. But yeah, it was just an amazing experience though to see them and things.
But they're so quick, aren't they?
Oh, they're like speed boats. They are incredibly fast. Have you ever caught one in flight?
Yes.
Oh, well
very. And again, see, that's where the tech on the cameras really comes in.
Yeah.
I tried to do lots of like kingfishers on DSLRs, and I'm not a good enough photographer. I'll freely admit I'm not a good enough photographer to use DSLR and capture kingfisher in flight. Things like the tracking systems on the Z8 and the Z9, that sort of XP7 generation of tracking capability has improved my wildlife and birds in flight photography. It's made me a new photographer, and it's just trusting the technology, knowing when to be in the right modes. So I can now do kingfisher in flights, and
so cool.
my ability to keep the kingfisher or the puffin even, because they're pretty fast as well.
They can be speedy.
Keep them in the frame and then trust the technology to you get the subject for you. So yeah, I've my kingfishers in flight have improved no end since I've been shooting the Z8, Z9.
That's really good.
Yeah, no, it is. The technology really does help, and again, having fast autofocus on the lenses like the 400mm or the 600 really helps as well.
And I also find with elusive species like the kingfisher that Z mirrorless lenses can be really good because they don't make a sound.
Exactly. Well, let's say you've got no sound on the autofocus motors, and the cameras can be put into completely silent mode as well. So they're certainly Z8, Z9, so the electronic shutter, turn it off. We did that for the otters as well because we ended up getting so close that actually I was actually in a hide a couple of weeks ago with somebody with a DSLR. And I couldn't believe how much noise we used to make with the D850, which is a modern one.
the D850.
But it sounds so loud now.
I remember when I was using the D850, it was my second body that I upgraded to because it was the Nikon D500. Then it went to the Nikon D850, which we're actually using in the podcast.
One I was over there. I can see over there, yeah.
And when I remember taking pictures of a fox once, and Dad was holding me up, and I think we got 3 pictures, clunk, 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 and the fox head in and went away. Yeah. But I think it was in a hide once, and there was a person there that was using a D850. I might not even, maybe it wasn't even a Nikon, but it was definitely, it wasn't a mirrorless camera. And I was thinking, blimey, is that how loud it was? Yeah. It is incredible, isn't it?
Well, I used to run a studio before I joined Nikon, and we used to photograph weddings, and that was one of the big things. Almost like being in a hide. You're in the church or you're in the registry office, and everybody's quiet, and you need to take a picture, and you press the shutter on
Boom.
And you've got that sound again. Mirrorless sort of, because they're silent now.
Yes.
Yeah, really come into their own. And regardless of what genre of music photography as well, we work with a lot of music photographers, and that really comes into its own as well. So it's not just wildlife; it's got a huge application across different genres of photography. But I do really appreciate being able to. I actually said turn it. Mine was on a low sound anyway, but I turned it off last week just because we ended up getting so close to the otters on Saturday morning, which was really cool.
That's incredible. Now with me, I have to keep it on low so that I at least hear how many pictures I'm taking.
Yep.
Otherwise, we have to go through around about 1 million pictures.
Yep.
And you go clunk, clunk, tink, tick, 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 tick. Can take a while.
That was, again, same as you. That was the reason I had left the sound on. Because otherwise, I remember the first time I picked a mirrorless up years ago, it was on a high frame rate, and I pressed it, and I took thousands of pictures. And I was like, I've now got to look at these. But I put the borders on the side so I can see now when it's flashing.
Yes.
So I've been using that, and I think I've not first time using completely silent on Saturday. I think I've not taken too many pictures.
Okay.
So we'll monitor this situation, see how it goes. I might turn the sound
you
back
find
on.
out later on.
Yeah, very
how many you've actually taken.
Yeah, I've got to look at all the images. That's this week's job in the evening.
Okay, so when the stars don't show up, you're on the hit.
Very much so. Very much so. Yeah, the forecast isn't great this weekend for Astro, so it's I think it's an editing week.
Okay, going through the otter pictures.
Yep, otters and eagles. Yeah, and puffins as well, because puffins in flight. Yeah,
yes.
Cameras on 20 frames a second. You're gonna shoot a lot anyway, and you only need to pick a few of them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You get one picture of the certain angle, then the next angle, then the next angle.
That's it.
I used to get like 10 of one angle, and then the hard drives didn't quite agree with me. Did you find that with hard drive space?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm lucky to I've got a NAS unit which was got quite a bit of storage on it from when we had the studio.
I see.
So I'm slowly filling that up. But there will come a point at which I will need to go back and delete some of the pictures because we will run out of space. I think I've got about 20 terabytes. So I think I've got quite a bit of space yet. But again, one of the other things of just getting into is video. Do you shoot much video at all?
I'm trying to shoot more. So I did start with just doing pictures. I wanted to do a bit more video of the wildlife, so to get used to like editing and things, I used my phone. It's the only thing I use it for. I put it in certain angles and I video my little role plays that I do with my soft toys that are in the podcast at the moment. And I'm trying to I want to try and do a little mini bee documentary. And I also want to try and do a blue tit life cycle.
Cool.
But I'm a bit late for the blue tits, unfortunately. I wish I thought of it earlier.
That's one for next year. I was going to say, it's the only year actually our blue tits haven't nested. We had a bit of a sparrowhawk problem back end of last year. And I think that our little blue tits didn't survive the sparrowhawk, which is a shame. But we got a box up there. But yeah, they would be fledging by now. So yeah, project for next year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our sparrows sadly got the sparrowhawk, caught the sparrowhawk's eye because I started off with pictures of sparrows.
Yep.
And I think I counted at least 33 sparrows in our garden, and
That's
then we had
number.
The visit of a sparrowhawk, and now we have 10.
Oh.
So the ones that did stay, the ones that did survive the sparrowhawk coming over, thought, I don't think I want to stay here anymore, and moved off. So, just have to wait for them to come back, hopefully.
But sparrowhawks, if you can capture those, they're fast as well.
Oh, they're
brilliant,
fast.
Brilliant birds. I managed to capture a hen harrier last week. We saw that flying and erratic flight pattern. Luckily, it landed. But I happened to have the 600 on, and so I've got a great picture.
Yeah.
Didn't stay landed for long and took off again.
Okay.
But again, erratic flight patterns. The other one, been photographing a lot this year. Lapwings, they're difficult.
Oh yeah, lapwings are speedy.
Yeah,
they're just as fast as kingfishers, I'd say. Maybe even faster.
Well, it's as they fly in that funny
they twirl around, don't they? So you think they're going one way. Nope, they're turning on an instant. They are unpredictable.
Yeah.
Very unpredictable.
Again, another one I wouldn't have tried doing on my film camera at all. You can only do that with, I feel you can only do that. I mean, a lot of respect for, I know, photographer Chris Gomersall, he used to do all the RSPB photography and a lot of the stuff they still use. He was their film photographer, and a lot of the stuff they still use are Chris's pictures, and his talent is just incredible because he's got all of this stuff.
Yeah.
In-flight birds like this on film cameras, which to me that is a huge skill level, knowing what the technology was like back then compared with what we can do now.
Yeah, it would have definitely been tricky getting pictures
Really
of birds with the film. Have you ever tried panning with lapwings?
Not with lapwings.
Okay.
We were at Bempton Cliffs, was it last year or was it earlier this year? Because that's quite close to me. So,
right.
Yeah, I was trying to do panning I was doing it with the formers as they were coming across and then the gannets, but they were sort of in their glide mode.
Yes.
So, yeah, lapwings panning, that's a good challenge. I'll put that on the list. I'll give that a go. That's something for next year, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, my projects for this year were hares, but ended up being too busy. So I missed that. So that's got to go on to next year's project list.
Everything's piling up on next year now.
I had panning and lapwings. That's a
Yeah.
good one. Not tried that. I've done panning with puffins, so done that. So panning with lapwing, I'm sure
What's
I can
the
do.
easiest
Have you
bird?
done that though?
Yes.
Yes.
I think it was either last year or the year before last that it was really dark and we were in a hide and there were lapwings everywhere with herons and egrets. So I put down the shutter speed because it was pretty much the only thing you could photograph because it was late in the day and it was not very bright because Britain's classic for not being very bright. Touch wood, it's quite sunny today.
It is. It's looking
We'll
really
definitely
good.
touch.
And it's not raining
Yes.
at the moment.
At the moment.
Yeah.
It'll probably rain in 5 seconds. Anyway, yes. I was getting pictures of them and I was like, and I didn't get many. I think.
But you only need one.
Yeah, I think I might have had 2 okay ones. I did get a nice one of a heron though, so that was not too bad. Cool. But yeah, definitely something to try.
That's one of the things we talk when we're teaching photography. When we say to people, when they say, "Oh, I've not got a lot of pictures," and well, you only need that one picture, and then that's the shot you're looking for from that sequence.
Yes.
Yeah. As we were talking about earlier, is before we did the podcast, like coming away with like hundreds of pictures from a shoot. One, it's a lot of storage space, and two, it's you need to look at all those pictures.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, definitely looking through is probably the hardest bit. What would you say is the hardest bit? Would you say processing them or getting the picture?
It's changed.
Okay.
So when I started on film, you just went and shot. You gave it to the lab. It came back, and you looked and went, that's either good or that's either bad.
Yeah.
And then you got your sort of made up your contact sheet, got your prints done.
Yes.
So we didn't have to do all of that processing work. I did have my own darkroom and things like that. But
cool.
generally, you left some of the bigger prints to the labs to do.
Yes.
When we went digital, we've now got that. Yeah, getting the picture sometimes, getting the picture is actually some of the easier bits. Depends what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's then, I think one of the things we see a lot, one of the questions we get asked a lot as well is sort of how do I edit it? What's right? What's wrong?
Yes.
And I think trying to convey that point of it, you have a style as a photographer. Your style is different to my style and it's different to somebody else's style. And it's trying to understand what your style is, I think, is the hardest part. Understanding what are you trying to be? Are you trying to recreate reality? Are you trying to do digital art? Because once you can work back from there, once you know what the end result's going to be, you can then work back from there, and then capturing it's quite easy. But it's doing that finishing the picture.
Yeah.
We used to finish pictures in the darkroom, so you did a bit of dodging and burning, things like that. Paint stuff off negatives, things like that. You can do that all now in your Lightroom or your Capture One or whatever you're using these days. But it's a lot quicker and a lot easier. But you've got to know where you're going.
Yeah, because what do you use for your editing?
Depends. If I'm doing portraiture and landscapes, I tend to, so images that don't need denoising and things like that, I'll tend to use Capture One.
Okay.
If I'm using things that need to have denoise applied to them, or I'm thinking I'm shooting at probably higher than 2000 ISO, something like that, I'll generally use Lightroom because it's all in one. Lightroom Classic, that is.
Yes.
Or I will use Topaz denoise, and I'll then run them through. I'll run the DNG through Capture One. So it's a mix depending on what I'm doing.
Yep.
Lightroom Classic for convenience is an all-in-one package. I try and make my life as easy as possible. So yeah, all in one for that. But sometimes Topaz and Capture One.
I see. Yep.
What are you editing with?
Okay, well, we do use Lightroom Classic and we also use Topaz. We use Photoshop and for stacking, Helicon Focus because it's really good for stacking bugs.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, Photoshop's okay. Helicon is a nice piece of software.
Yeah, it is really good to get the stacks because when I do my stacks with my OM1 Mark II that I use for doing my macro photography, it has a built-in stack sort of picture.
Yeah.
So it's focus bracketing mode, and you can go on. You have to stay still though. And the bug has to stay still.
Yes, it does.
That is it.
Yeah.
Have you tried doing that?
I've done focus stacking before, but not. Yeah. I generally go out early in the morning, so the bugs are cooler. They're not going to move, and finding them is the hard part.
Yeah, finding them can be tricky.
And so that's the way I would do it. If making sure the bug doesn't move, because you're quite right with focus stacking. Any movement, it's not going to stack correctly.
Nope. And any time that I just make even a micro-millimeter of movement, then you have to start again. And you don't want to delete the pictures either, so you that hard drive space again is
it gets eaten up completely. Yeah. Again, another thing we've got on the new cameras, which we're taking people through at the moment, is pixel shift shooting as well, where you can turn say the Z8 into like 45 megapixels, you can turn it to 180 megapixels, but again, you can't have too much movement in that. So we're currently playing with where's the limit. I've got that down to about a 20th of a second.
Oh, okay.
One of my colleagues he managed to do a 10-second exposure, but nothing moved in it at all, which was really, really good, which is unusual for something that long. But about 20th of a second we've got the pixel shift down to. But again, similar sort of thing, that you can't have any movement, because otherwise the stitching software doesn't work.
Yes, of course. And what's your favourite bug to do macro photography with? I'll just say, what's your favourite item to do macro photography with?
It's, again, difficult one to do, because if I've got my insect animal head on, then I think it must be dragonflies or something like that. They are
amazing.
That said, if you can get a moth or a butterfly, the patterns on the wings, the markings are just incredible to look at.
Yeah,
it's a challenge. I love bees, things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Get the
bees
detail
are
in the
lovely.
wings. And it's a good challenge to try and get, almost like, I've never photographed hummingbirds, but to get a bee in front of a flower, just hovering there, I always think that's a really good test of photographic skill.
Yes.
So, those are the things I like to do. If I've not got my insect head on, or my bug head on, or my animal heads, and I'm just doing what I call abstracts, it will be, just finding textures, looking at textures, looking at different different things you could shoot, which create like ulterior worlds, so areas that you're not going to look at and not see. You can create some great abstract pictures. Yep,
the hidden world.
Hidden world, very much so. Yeah.
And what I find is that when you got really, really small bugs and they're walking across a couple of leaves, it may not look like much to us, but it's really far for them, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, very much so. But I'm just looking at like the textures on this woven pattern here. Again, sort of a bug on this would look like, it'd be a mountain range to the bug.
And a forest
like
maybe because of the little hairs.
Things like that. So that could make a great picture if you can get close enough to it.
Yep, of course it could. Yes. And what's your favourite picture that you've taken? And what's the best picture maybe that you've taken? Was it macro or?
I would say probably landscape or wildlife are my favourite stroke best pictures. And go back to the answer you gave earlier about your favourite animal per area. I would break it down to sort of genres of photography, or even regions. So we do a lot of talks when we're teaching photography. We talk at lots of shows and things like that. So we have a lot of images we talk about all the time. One, because they demonstrate photographic techniques, and two, because we like the images and we're proud of those images. So I've got some great landscape shots from around here. Again, one of the reasons why we moved from London to Yorkshire, because it's got some great great locations. Early morning light. I love sunrises and sunsets. So anything that's got really great sunlight in it, or light and colours. I love moving water. My wife says to me all the time, not another waterfall. But I like moving water. And I like not blurring it completely down, a little bit of texture in it. So be it waterfall or coastal. So got loads of pictures like that, like the Northumbrian coast up by Bamburgh and around there. Beautiful for that, for sunrises, sunsets, and moving water. So I can
Okay,
combine
you're always
lots,
there.
yeah, lots of my favourite things in one picture. Wildlife-wise, I think, again, Yorkshire's got some lovely wildlife. We've got some lovely waterfalls up here as well. But I think you can't think you can beat Scotland for the wildlife aspect.
yeah.
If you don't want to travel too far, I'm a big fan of trying to keep it what we're doing local, not necessarily jumping on a plane all the time to go and photograph stuff. So trying to keep it as local as I can with the photography. So yeah, some of the wildlife, really, after I've now photographed my first white-tailed eagles, love those. And mentioned the otters earlier.
Yes, of course.
Those when they're ashore, they're just, really, really cool.
Yeah, they are. They are amazing.
I can't forget wildlife. My puppy is great to photograph as well.
Okay.
So yeah, I have to add him in. Animals, I have to add him in as well.
Okay. Now that's your best pictures, let's say. What's your worst pictures that you've taken?
Oh, worst pictures. That's a really, really good question. I find that because we teach a lot, we have to shoot bad pictures to show this is how it shouldn't be done, or this is what happens when you get a bad setup on your cameras. So I've got a lot of really bad pictures, but I would say they're deliberately shot like that.
Okay.
So that's where we are now. We go out and shoot missed autofocus shots or wrong shutter speed shots for birds in flight, just to show what it actually looks like. So it's a learning point. Before that, though, while I was learning photography, so I learned on film. So you would shoot, you'd write down in your notebook your settings, send it off. 2 weeks later, it'd come back, and then you'd cross-reference the print with your notebook and see if you could work out what you'd done wrong and things like that. So bad pictures back then, hundreds. It's a learning curve. George has just gone to sleep, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, mate. I'm sorry, mate. I know. Okay. Now can you
there he goes.
I thought, did he have his straight neck through all
yeah,
that?
he did. He was paying attention. He doesn't want to hear about bad photos, I think.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
He cover his ears. Carry on.
So lots and lots of bad photos, but that's part of your learning experience. It's one of the things we say to delegates as well is take bad photos because it's a learning point.
Of course, yes.
As long as you learn from what you've done wrong or the settings, and you change your settings, don't just repeat the same thing. So bad photos is a learning experience, is the way we look at it. Everybody's got to shoot bad photos to get where they're going. I didn't just start shooting brilliant pictures. You have to go on that journey.
This has been amazing. So I think I'm going to move on to the special Eagle Hour question, which is, if you had £500 million, what would you do with it?
Okay, that's a really good question. For me, if I had that amount of money available, I'd still keep my job. I wouldn't leave Nikon because I really enjoy this job. It's really, really good. What I would do is I'd set up some sort of wildlife refuge or sanctuary, or Scotland's on my mind. I've just come back from there. Try and buy one of the estates there and rewild it and reintroduce all of the animals and put the landscape back to what it should be and things like that. So I think I'd look to invest in lots of wildlife refuges and programs that really can sort of help us with nature and really keep sort of nature protected and going for all of the generations to come.
Yes, that would be just an amazing idea to try and help the forests and everything, because in Scotland I think that there's quite a lot of woodlands that are really important for birds like the capercaillie and black grouse and things. So it would be really important just to give them a little bit more, let's say, it's like their little dance floors back, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, for the leks and things like that. Yeah. And again, capercaillie is a very threatened species in Scotland. So reintroducing the rainforest to Scotland, and maybe taking out a bit of the commercial sort of timber industry and things like that, and getting it back to what it would have looked like. I know it's difficult to find that. Where do we draw the line in the sand as to where do you take it back to? But I think, just trying to protect nature, protect wildlife would be a strong push for me. And 500 million is a lot of money, and you can do a lot with that.
Yeah, it's definitely.
What would you do with it?
Well, I'd probably do a bit of a Steve Irwin.
Okay,
Similar to your idea, by getting as much land as I possibly can and try and give it back to wildlife and keep those refuges that are still holding on and put them into little sanctuaries and little pollinator highways as well, because the bees always need those little strips of meadow or anywhere where there's some flowers and stuff, and that's really useful for the plants as well, because it's that little highway that they can get across, and that's really useful because you can connect all of Britain back up to what it used to be like to help the insects and everything. So that's probably what I do.
That sounds good. I think they align really, really well, don't they?
Yeah. Just anything that we could do to help wildlife, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very much so. I think that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, well, Neil, this has been amazing to chat to you. Thank you so much for coming on my podcast. It's just been incredible to chat about cameras, wildlife, everything, really.
It's been brilliant to be here. So pleased to be able to be here and talk with you. It's been brilliant.
Oh, thank you. Well, before I end this incredible podcast, I've got a couple of riddles for you to try and answer.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'm not going to make them too difficult. I'll grab my riddle book. George, do not fall over, please. He's got his neck squiffy again. Hang on. Don't breathe. Okay, here's the first riddle. Hidden in some of Britain's woods lives a creature that likes to stash goods, with a red coloration and a tail so bushy and long, but suffers by a different type that was brought along. What am I?
You're a red squirrel.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got it.
They're brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love red squirrels.
Okay, here's my second one. So, on Norway, walking around, two males clash with an amazing sound. With a very thick skull for such a bash, you wouldn't want to be between them and their clash. What am I?
You're a musk oxen.
Yep, you got both of them.
Yeah, got both of them. Excellent.
Yep, and I wrote these all myself in my little
They're brilliant ones.
riddle book.
Is that full of riddles?
This is full of riddles. Riddles and a couple of poems at the beginning. One poem. All riddles but one. So yeah, this is my little riddle book full of scribbles and everything. So yeah. Oh, Neil, it's been amazing to chat to you. Thank you so much for coming on my podcast. It's been awesome to chat to you about the cameras and the wildlife and what you do to try and protect it as well. It's amazing. Thank you so much.
Cool. Brilliant to be here. Cheers, Jamie.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone. It was really amazing to talk to Neil about cameras and wildlife as well. And it is amazing about how the insect lenses are even similar to lenses that we use on modern day cameras. It's really cool. Don't forget to subscribe to hear more lovely podcasts just like this one. See you there.